Let's get to our second presenter. Now, this man I've known for a long time. I have a lot of respect for him. And he's been around the business for a long time, and he knows a little bit about everything. He's not really that old, except that he started when he was 5 years old. So he's been around for forever, even though he's still relatively a young man. But when this gentleman was 5 years old, he recorded his first hit back in his hometown of San Pedro, Texas. And he was born around music, and his father and his grandfather squeezed out the accordion. Narciso Martinez, who may be called the father of conjunto music, who used to drop by the house of this gentleman, Mr. Juan Antonio Tapia, and they would talk about music, and they would do some jamming together. Now, for over 12 years, he was the accordionist for the late, great norteño superstar Cornelio Reina. Presently, he's one of the accordionists and vocalists with El Conjunto del Gilberto Perez. Now, I did not know this till recently, but Mr. Juan Antonio Tapia is also a key man who would take the accordions for all the famous people, like Esteban Ordan, Valerio Longoria, Gilberto Garcia de los Dos Gilbertos, Ruben Vela, different people like that, and he would tune their accordion. And he had a special way of tuning the accordion to match the sonido of each one of these artists. And that's not an easy thing to do. It's very time consuming. And no matter what the machines tell you, you've always got to rely at the end of the day on your ear. And I'm proud to say this man has a great ear for music. Let me introduce our next presenter, Mr. Juan Antonio Tapia.
Thank you. Pedro Ayala Jr., what can I say about this guy? Great guy, great musician, one of the best accordionists I've ever worked with. Incidentally, estamos platicando con la familia de él ahorita. His latest recordings that he did before he passed on, I recorded con él. I was very fortunate that I recorded about 30 songs with him. And I was just wondering, whatever happened to that music? Y ahorita me dijo la señora Ayala, me dijo, yo la tengo toda, mijo. Te voy a dar un CD. Thank you, Mrs. Ayala. When I was growing up, I grew up around music, and I was about maybe 7, 8 years old. That's too far back for me to remember exactly when it was. Pero me acuerdo yo que estábamos aquí en la viejita down the street. And my dad was there, everybody was there, toda la familia. And we went to see Don Pedro Ayala y Los Hermanos Ayala. And they were up there playing, y allá voy yo entremetido, because I was a little kid, pero me gustó mucho la música, so I was always entremetido. I went over there, and I remember pulling la mano de Don Pedro Ayala y le digo, acompáñame una canción. ¿Qué? Acompáñame una canción. Yo sé cantar. So digo Don Pedro Ayala, digo, que te la acompañe Pedrito. And sure enough, me acompañaron los hermanos Ayala, Emilio, Ramón, que aquí están presentes el día de hoy. Gracias, porque todo el tiempo, you guys were there for us starting musicians. Eso sí, le tengo que dar las gracias a Don Pedro, a tantos músicos como Raúl Ruco Martínez, Narciso. They always had this open heart for music and enjoyed young people who played también. Rubén had a lot, también comenzó a muchos artistas y los puso en la gloria de la música, se puede decir. Todas esas gentes, our respects to them. Y quiero que le brinden un fuerte aplauso a todas esas gentes que dejaron eso para nosotros. Ahora nosotros tenemos que dejarlos para ellos. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about Pedro Ayala Jr. Pedro Ayala Jr. le pasó lo que a mí. He grew up around music. He comes from a long family de músicos. His great-grandfather was Emilio Ayala, a member of the legendary orchestra combo de Monterrey, que everybody knows them, Los Montañeses del Álamo. He was one of their members. I didn't know this till I read this today. And his father was the legendary Don Pedro Ayala Sr. He started playing when he was 7 years old, and by the age of 12, he was already recording. He was recording his own compositions y también música de su papá. A lot of talent. Y tocaba junto con sus hermanos. Aquí está poquito al revés esto, pero aquí lo vamos a corregir. Emilio con el bass y Ramón Ayala, el verdadero Ramón Ayala, en el bajo sexto. Now, these guys right here tocan todo. Tocan todo, okay? All the instruments de conjunto, desde tambora hasta acordeón, bass, bajo sexto. So that's another thing. En las últimas 30 grabaciones que yo grabé con Pedro, yo y Pedro hicimos toda la música, la grabamos. Yo en unas toqué el bajo sexto, bueno, en todas toqué bajo sexto, en unas toqué el bass, en otras tambora, and we alternated. He did the same thing because he knew the instruments and he knew the music and he knew the sound that he wanted. So, somos muy pocos, pero esta familia ya la tiene mucho talento y lo hicieron y lo hacen bien hecho. Los hermanos Ayala tocaban en muchos lugares, tocaban aquí en Wesla con la Villita, aquí en San Benito, y llegaron a grabar en 1959 una canción que se llama Ojitos de Trigueña. Very nice song. And they started touring, doing local television shows, and finally touring the whole United States. Grabaron para muchas compañías, including Falcon Records, Bronco, Bego, y Bernal. And they also did a lot of work for other musicians as studio musicians, también como con Freddie Fender, con Don Pedro Ayala, y también the legendary Eligio Escobar y Linda Escobar. Ellos no nomás hacían lo de ellos, sino que ayudaban a otras gentes también a grabar. So that was a very good thing that they did there. Pedro Ayala Jr. también fue a tocar junto con su padre y sus hermanos a Washington D.C. en el Smithsonian Institute. Pedro Ayala Jr. and his brothers and his dad and their dad went and received a National Heritage Award in 1989. After that, vinieron para atrás y hicieron tantas cosas, tocaron en San Antonio, yo me acuerdo que yendo para atrás un poquito, hacían presentaciones en San Antonio junto con Flaco Jiménez, junto con el Flaco Viejo. There's a lot of history in this, guys, que, it's not written down here, but I know for a fact, because I went through it, y ellos también, que if any family did a lot for conjunto, is the Ayala family. Pedro Ayala junto con Don Pedro Ayala y ellos juntos muy unidos todo el tiempo tocando nuestra música, representando nosotros de aquí del Valle, representándolo all over Texas. Y en México, en Monterrey, se tocan tanto las piezas de Don Pedro Ayala que it's incredible to think de Tony La Rosa, de Rubén, de todos nosotros. I listen to those stations over there on the internet. And believe me, they play a lot of music de aquí, de nosotros, del Valle. Y quisiera yo, con todo el alma, es un honor tan grande poder presentar, to welcome a la familia de Pedro Ayala Jr. y welcome a Pedro Ayala Jr. into the Texas Conjunto Music Hall of Fame. Por favor, que se oiga fuerte el aplauso para ellos.
I know it go on for a long time. You were there. You lived it.
Yeah. Pásenle, por favor. ¿Cómo se llama la señora, la esposa de don Pedro? A mí se me olvidó también. Ya está bien grande la señora. 96? Wow.
As I was listening to you, Senor Tapia, I could just get a feel for the sincerity in your voice as you were describing. There you are. As you were describing the attributes of your friend, and I know that what was written, while thorough as it may be, it only scratches the surface of what you actually went through with el Senor Ayala. So I can't think of anybody else more fitting than to be presenting the award than yourself, because you traveled up and down pretty much every highway that there is together, and pretty much every recording studio that there was, you recorded together. And we wait for the family to come up right now, and it's with great honor that we will do this presentation. I want to make a special mention, and boy, if this doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. This is la mamá de Pedro Ayala Jr. She is 96 years old, la esposa de Don Pedro, and she looks like she's about 56. So, and welcome everybody. Let me go ahead and read what is inscripted in this plaque. Pedro Ayala Jr., in recognition for your commitment and outstanding contribution to Conjunto music, inducted June 23rd, 2018, San Benito, Texas. Congratulations.
Darles las gracias.
Just a few words. My father, Pedro Ayala Jr. It's almost 11 years in a few weeks. His love of music is what's going to live on. His brothers, Tío Ramon, Tío Emilio, all of them together contributed to Conjunto music and what it means, the roots of music here in the valley. He can't be here, but he is here in spirit. He is here with me, with my sons, with his family, moving the legacy forward. He loved to play with anyone and everyone. He shared his music. Thank you for sharing this with him.
Thank you, La Familia Ayala, very much. As a matter of fact, I was going to make mention, because we have with us today so many very important people who have been associated with Conjunto music for such a long time and have given pretty much their whole lives, at least their adult lives, and their spirits to la onda de Conjunto music. I am proud to know that Senor Tapia and Mr. Ayala, with as much talent as they have, they also helped a lot of other musicians besides just their own conjunto, being studio musicians for Eligio Escobar, Linda Escobar, and others. That's the spirit of giving right there. That is when you have a craft and a talent, and you're not keeping it selfish, but you're sharing it with other musicians and ultimately sharing it with the world. So a big congratulations to La Familia Ayala, and also the brothers Ramon Ayala, Emilio Ayala, and of course inductee Pedro Ayala Jr. y su mamá, 96 years young, perhaps I should say. And it looks like she's only just begun.